The Toronto District School Board is making a plea tonight, saying there could be cuts to services if the province doesn't repay approximately $70 million in pandemic costs incurred by the TDSB.
The idea of having to make significant cuts at this time more than ever seems incredibly problematic.
A letter signed off by the TDSB board chair addressed to Education Minister Stephen Lecce says the TDSB was required to use reserves during the COVID-19 pandemic to fulfill health measures required by both the province and Toronto Public Health.
We ensured that, everything we were doing was focused on keeping students and staff safe. And as a result, we incurred approximately $70 million in pandemic costs that have not been reimbursed.
Officials say approximately $55.1 million was used to cover additional staffing required to create smaller class sizes and $15 million for other COVID-19 related costs to help create a safe learning environment.
We have asked a number of times for that, and we have not heard answers. So this letter is really, we are asking again because we feel the situation is so dire right now.
During the first 2 years of the pandemic, the ministry gave the school board more than $31.5 million through the COVID-19 Learning Recovery Fund, which allowed TDSB to put an additional 485 staff resources into the system. The letter states concerns over that fund being discontinued for the next school year.
I know on programs like yours, you've covered the challenges we're facing in Toronto schools and in Toronto communities in terms of learning loss of students, in terms of violence in schools and in communities, in terms of mental health and well-being of students. And the idea of taking out 485 staff is really a problematic discussion for trustees to be having right now.
Prior to the pandemic, the board was facing a structural deficit, which the TDSB was not able to address during the pandemic. The TDSB says it now faces a deficit of approximately $61 million for the 2023-24 school year. TDSB officials say that if the ministry were to reimburse them for those pandemic costs, they would have additional funding to address their current financial shortfalls and would not need to cut extra programming. Nakhavoly, City News.